Can you come here for just a second?
Welcome, everyone. We'll call the City Council regular meeting to order. It's Monday, November 10th, 2025, 7 p.m. Would everyone please rise for the invocation given by Councilman Curley, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight and ask your blessings upon this council. And indeed, Father, we ask that you would bless this city. We know sometimes we have our problems, but we're Eastpointers, Lord. And we stick together, and we love our community, we love our neighbors. Lord, we ask a special blessing upon this country, that may we reunite together once again. We ask all these things in your name, Jesus, the Heavenly Father. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Curley?
Here.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Here.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Here.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Here.
All right. Moving on to approval of the agenda. For this, I would make two suggestions. One, to omit the item B from the closed session, and to add under, I suppose it would be unfinished business, item A, discussion on city manager contract.
I'll second that.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
All right, and we'll move into the proclamation recognition of Margaret N. Smith. Would council be willing to join me down by the podium? And I believe Councilman DeMonico is going to read out the proclamation. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Now, hello, everybody. All right. We've got a proclamation today for Margaret Smith. She was a longtime member of the Beautification Commission, and Chelsea here, who's currently a member of the Beautification Commission, put a beautiful event together that you'll hear about in the proclamation, and that there's a flower bed in memory of Margaret. And Chelsea did a fantastic job putting that together and has done a ton of work for the Beautification Commission. So if you read the proclamation.
Thank you. All right. City of Eastpointe proclamation recognizing Margaret N. Smith. Whereas it is with great honor that the City of Eastpointe recognizes the creation of Maggie's Butterfly Garden for Margaret N. Smith's dedicated service to the community of Eastpointe. And whereas Margaret was a commissioner of the Eastpointe Beautification Commission from 2004 to 2010, and whereas in that time, Margaret created beautiful garden spaces for the community to enjoy, and whereas Margaret was appointed to the Eastpointe Housing Authority in 2009 and served until 2017, and whereas Margaret was thanked at that time by Mayor Pro Tem Kleinfeld for her 8 years of service on the Eastpointe Housing Authority. And whereas Margaret was also a volunteer with the Humane Society, Kiwanis, and Eastpointe city elections. And whereas Margaret gave her time and presence to the St. Clair Shores Senior Center and Redeemer United Methodist Church. And whereas sadly, Margaret passed away on March 5th, 2024, at the age of 87. And whereas Margaret's family came to the Eastpointe Beautification Commission to request the creation of a butterfly memorial garden. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council for the city of Eastpointe proclaims that Maggie's Butterfly Garden is hereby recognized for Margaret's many years of dedicated public service on Eastpointe's Beautification Commission and many other public services. And we extend our condolences and well wishes to Margaret's family. May this memorial garden spark joy and fond memories of our beloved community member. Proclaimed this day, the 10th day of November, 2025.
Here's the official one. All right, yeah, thank you again. That's Chelsea Head from the Beautification Commission. Then actually, Craig, don't walk away yet. He's the chair of the Beautification Commission. Wanted to recognize him also.
Entrance of Spindler Park.
Spindler right by the sign.
Do we take a picture?
Oh, sure. Wanna? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And we will move right into the first hearing of the public. The first hearing of the public is now open.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm here today, first of all, Sarah Lucido, Eastpointe resident. I'm here today to speak on behalf of Cardi DeMonico. I'd like to start out by thanking you for your 11 years of committed service to the Eastpointe City Council. I remember when I started on City Council, Cardi was my very first helper of reviewing our budget. And let me tell you, he has been, and since then, the most dedicated person when it comes to going through that budget. I mean, he would go through it with a fine-tooth comb, front and back, every page, every line item. I'm sure Mr. Blum can agree with that, because I'm sure he got a lot of emails from Cardi during budget season. The city will miss you. You were an asset to this community, and you were definitely an asset to making sure that Eastpointe stayed on the right financial path. And I do thank you very much for your service and for your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Sorry.
Craig Wadecki, Eastpointe citizen. Unofficially, part of that proclamation should also say, thank you to Mr. DeMonico from the commission, because you were at most of our meetings, and especially most of the time at our cleanups. You were always there with a shovel, a brush, a garbage bag in your hand. Whatever we needed done, you were there to help us, and probably more than anyone else would ever do, because your truck was usually full with about 40 garbage bags that you took to the dump. So thank you for that. Thank you for your service. I know a lot of times people did or didn't agree with you, but you were always there. You always answered the phone, you'd answered emails, and you'll be missed, and your service was appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to say, Cardi, serving locally is the hardest service to do. I know I've been through several iterations, and serving locally is very hard. And we've agreed with each other on a lot of issues. We've disagreed with each other on some issues, but I never questioned whether or not what you were doing is what you thought was in the best interest of the city. And looking at a vision towards the future and attempting to accomplish that. So thank you for your 11 years of service, very much appreciated. And thank you for being here for the right reason. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Good evening, Council. John Solera, Kelly Avenue, Kelly Road. Good evening to Senator Kleinfeld, because it's her I wish to address tonight in my comment. Senator Kleinfeld, a couple weeks back, you put a video on your Facebook page where you compared Donald Trump and ICE's removal of immigrants to driving while black. And somehow you associate that with racism. And that was a disgusting speech, actually. Many blacks in Chicago and in Memphis are very glad ICE is there. ICE in Chicago has been ambushed, I think today or yesterday. Judge Joe Brown, the old TV host who is actually a judge and served on the civilian trial of Martin Luther King, says Memphis is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And there have been heavy busts down there with drugs. That was a disgusting speech. And to point out that white people have some kind of advantage. That's lunatic. So I denounce that speech, and if I'm gonna listen to anybody on race politics, it's not gonna be Senator Kleinfeld. I'll listen to Joe Brown, who had a lifelong history of black politics in America, and he feels it's necessary. And I think you should resign, Senator Kleinfeld. There's no other thing to say about it. It was a disgusting speech. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard?
I've only been walking with the cane for a couple days, so excuse me. Cartier came here special because I remember well the day you were appointed. We had so much excitement waiting for somebody young that wasn't gray-haired to make our way. And you proved it. So many times you would come up with great ideas. It didn't make any difference whether we were talking about beautification or so many of the other projects that you had lined up in your mind that Eastpointe couldn't live without. So I've also come because I want to recognize you for standing up for things you believe. And it's not betraying the minutes of a meeting to say that we had a lot of special council meetings, and we were all in agreement until one hand went up. And those of us on council always knew that no matter what we would do, Cardi would say, "Excuse me, but let's talk about a different thing." And that's creativity. And we always depended on you to bring up a point that we might have missed. So good luck to you in your future. I know that you're going to have a long life ahead of you, and I know that you're going to be back on the political angle again. So have fun, enjoy a little bit of time off. It always makes a big difference. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Carol Reed, lifelong resident of Eastpointe. I just want to thank you for acknowledging Margaret Smith, Chelsea, and the Beautification Commission. I was on the Beautification Commission for at least 3 terms, and I'm still a member of BCSEM. And I really learned a lot about planting things, and we did a lot of projects, and they were very good, and I did a presentation on conserving water, believe it or not, a long time ago, and it rained for 3 weeks, so only 4 people showed up, my mom and the Beautification Commission. But at the time, I was trying to explain to people how water was gonna become very expensive. Even though we're surrounded by water, it was gonna be something very expensive. And so I remember being with Margaret all the time. She was on the Beautification Commission, and she was such a good person and such a hard worker, as we all were. And the Beautification Commission is really a wonderful group of people. I probably am gonna join them again, because everything they did was for the benefit of Eastpointe. And I just want to thank all of you for honoring her, because she was a very dear friend of mine, and we actually had a little group of people of girls that went out to dinner at Villa that were all associated with the Beautification Commission. So they're actually having an event in Fraser for BCSEM, and I think myself and one of the guests here is going to attend. So thank you for acknowledging her. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. Item A, regular meeting minutes from October 21, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we accept the minutes of the regular meeting of October 21st, 2025.
Second that.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes. Hey, item B, closed session minutes from October 21, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I'll motion we approve the closed session meeting minutes of October 21, 2025.
Second. All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
All right, item C, special meeting minutes from October 27, 2025.
And I'll motion we approve the special meeting minutes of October 27, 2025.
Support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. All right, we have no scheduled hearings. We'll move on to unfinished business. We have an added item A, discussion of the city manager contract. I suppose maybe, Mr. Albright, I'll just kick it over to you, and you can just mention the, I suppose, 3 issues that council needs to make a decision on today.
Mayor, I'd be happy to. Mr. Mattis did communicate with me. He's had a chance to review the proposed employment agreement that our office prepared, and council does have a copy of that. Mr. Mattis is looking under the termination and severance pay. He's looking for something in excess of the proposed 3 months salary. He's also requesting under professional memberships, dues, and conferences for the addition of an additional association that would be included with that. And he's also looking for the ability to bank some paid time off. Those are the three areas that he did, after reviewing the proposed agreement, did speak to me about. And we had a discussion last week as well, and I told him that I would be bringing his proposals before the city council.
Thank you. So I guess moving on to item 1, the severance issue. I don't want to jump in before anyone has a chance to speak. So did anyone want to offer up their opinions on that one?
What if we did something like 4 months instead of 3?
Council? I would be fine with that.
It's okay if you're not. I mean, just a thought.
I have no argument. I have no disagreement.
All right.
4 months.
4 months?
Yep. Anyone disagree with that?
No?
All right. Up it to 4 months. The second thing was I believe it was the association fee for the Michigan Association of Planning. Council?
I have a quick question on that, too. Could you tell me the cost on that membership? Anybody know, approximately, like a ballpark figure even?
In his email to me, he indicated he didn't believe there was any fee for that as well, or at all,
Well,
or annual dues.
that's an easy one. I say yes. I mean, that he could do the membership if it doesn't have an.
Well, I thought the reason he was asking for it in the contract was that there was a fee associated with it.
He said there might be fees associated with any annual trainings, but the dues itself, he said he didn't believe that there was any fee associated with that.
Oh,
I
understood.
thought that was the assessing. The assessing part was about maybe dues.
Sorry. Ms. Holman, did you have clarification?
I don't have the exact number, but it's my understanding that Mr. DeMonico is correct, that the assessing doesn't have dues, just the trainings. But I believe the Michigan Association of Planning is more expensive.
Okay. Is that something we typically have in the contracts, or is that something we just handle with the budget sort of amendment? Okay. All right, well, I'm happy with leaving that out of the contract then, just leaving it
out
as is. And then the last one was the carrying over the PTO. Personally, I think the offer was 30 days to begin with. I'm comfortable with leaving it just as is and how we offered it.
Under Section 4 compensation?
I don't have it in front of me, which section it's under?
That's a section.
Okay. How's council feel?
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
And Mayor, I believe Councilmember DeMonico said that the fee, he looked it up just now in the Michigan Association of Planning, there's a $75 annual fee?
Yeah, it looks like it might be $75 for an individual for Michigan Association of Planning, at least on this brochure. So I didn't know if we just wanted to add that in if it was that small of a fee.
I'm fine with that. The fee for the Michigan Association of Planning?
If it doesn't
If it's
exceed
anything
$75.
else.
Okay. All right. Well, I will then make a motion to finalize and offer a contract as presented, changing the severance from 3 months to 4 months, including the fees for the Michigan Association of Planning not to exceed $75. And those are the only two changes. And further authorize the city manager or interim city manager to execute and finalize the contract.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, any questions? Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, and we'll move into reports from administration. We will move into city manager's report. Ms. Doom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few things tonight. First of all, I'd like to say our election went very smoothly. I'd like to give a kudos out to our deputy clerk, all of the clerical help that assisted in this. We had a lot of folks that came in that have worked with us for many years, working on the election. So Great job. I just want them to be recognized for all the hard work that they've done. Next year's going to be a really busy year, election-wise. So they're really going to be on their toes. There's a couple of elections going on. Now, I'd like to also give you some good news that the state of Michigan has indicated that we will receive $1.3 million towards our roads next year. And in the following year, we'll receive $2 million towards our roads. So that's a real positive, and that'll continue. We need all the help we can. We hear quite often about how people would like us to please fix the roads. And we'd love to. We'd love to put new roads in everywhere throughout the entire city. But there's always budget constraints, and concrete goes up in price, and so do engineering fees. And I know that the council does the absolute best with what they have and the funds they have available to them. So this is going to be a really great boost for us. And then I'd also like to congratulate our police chief, Chief Haynes. He now has an additional title to the chief. He is now the mayor of Madison Heights.
Oh.
So congratulations, Chief. And we're very proud of him. We know that he's been working hard here for us, and he's also been working hard campaigning, and you finally take a deep breath. Because as you know, all of you elected officials, you know what it's like to campaign, and it takes a lot out of you. And then on a sadder note, I'd like to share that we lost one of our DPW workers, a young man. He was just now turning 39 years old. He passed away. He had health issues that he could not overcome. So he was a great worker. He'll be greatly missed. And I'd say the DPW is very sad to have lost him to illness. And that's my report for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Doom? All right, we'll move on to Finance Director's report. Mr. Blum.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Ms. Doom stole my thunder. I was going to mention the road funding as well. The one thing I did find out from MDOT is they're still working with Treasury to figure out if it's major or local, because they're not sure and the legislation and it's not clear. So they're working through some of the finer details, but starting in January, the gas tax will go up and some other things will shift around, and that's where the extra money will be coming from. But that's all I have for tonight.
All right, any questions for Mr. Blum? All right, City Attorney's report, Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Mayor. Cardi, on behalf of the City Attorney's Office, just want to thank you for your service all these years. I learned a lot from your predecessor who sat here back, who unfortunately passed away back in 2014. I learned a lot from him, and I've certainly learned a lot from you these past 11 years. So best of luck in all your endeavors. I'm sure I'll see you around, including the spring cleanup every spring. So, but the best of luck to you. And Mayor, the council's in receipt of our monthly status report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions for Mr. Albright? All right, we'll move into new business. Item A, approval of reappointment to the Eastpointe Housing Commission.
Mr. Mayor, I would be honored to move to approve the reappointment of Craig Waldecki to the Eastpointe Housing Commission with a term to expire October 1st, 2030.
Support.
All right, any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes?
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
All right, moving on to approve creation of delinquent special assessments. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I'll motion we authorize the finance director to place delinquent special assessments on the 2025 winter taxes as requested by him.
Support.
All right, any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
All right, item C, discussion on memorial trees. Councilman DeMonico, did you want to
Sure.
start off?
Thank you. So yeah, I added this to the agenda. I was at City Hall dropping off absentee ballots and just saw the our Greenpoint initiative flyers on how we're planting free trees in the boulevards, and a lot of people have taken advantage of that. And I was thinking about the Beautification Commission. Didn't run this by you yet, Craig, or I know Chelsea's not here now, but I thought if we are planting those trees for free, we charge for a memorial tree, and part of that fee was the planting of it, of course, buying a tree, and then the labor of planting it, and then also the plaque, of course. So the plaque will still, of course, cost us money, but I thought maybe we could reduce, while we have that program going on, reduce the fee for memorial trees, and maybe we can get more memorial trees, but that seemed reasonable if we're planting those other trees for free, and they're all in the public. It's not time to go yet, all the lights are going off City Hall here. Losing my train of thought now. No. So we've been planting those for free. Why not at least reduce that? I don't know what the fee would be. I didn't ask, city administration to look into this yet or anything, but I thought at least, we could discuss that, or you could, city council could do that at a future meeting or something if that sounded interesting.
I can speak to it just a little bit.
Ms. Doom?
Yes, Cardi, after you had brought that up with me, Kim and I spoke for a little bit, and, we've been holding off kind of cleaning up around City Hall till the road work was done on Gratiot, because they make quite a mess. And so we do have a budget that will allow for fresh landscaping, replacing the trees that have died. We still have most of the plaques here, and we haven't discussed the cost of people buying additional trees, but we certainly can look into that. But know that our goal is to replace every tree, whether it's here at City Hall or around the city, that people have paid for, and those trees have died. So there'll be a replacement on that. It'll be cleaned up. It'll be nicely mulched and looking really good at no additional cost. Those people paid for it once. We'll take care of the rest.
And then the future ones, right, that sounds great. I'm glad we're doing that. The current fee is $350, so I guess we can probably reduce that to some amount then for a memorial tree, right?
We'll take a look at the actual cost of buying the trees and planting and the cost of the plaque, and then we'll be able to give you a better price. Kim, I see your head kind of tilted. You good with that? Okay. She's a little hard to see over there because she's little, and then she's tucked into that corner, so we can't find her a lot of the times. We have to look for her. Kim, have you looked at the cost of new trees today, of replacement trees? Do you have a cost or an estimate?
There's a couple different programs that we've been involved in with the county and some other greening initiatives through our fellow. My belief is that trees can run from like $125, $150 up to, maybe higher 200s depending on the type of tree. We've been lucky to get the ability to benefit from the free tree program, and we've been leveraging the labor costs against that. Some of those programs come with restrictions that they have to be in the residential right-of-ways, but we're definitely willing to look into other programs that would allow us to do memorial trees, perhaps in the medians or in the parks, that could save the family some of the cost.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. If perhaps at the next meeting or so, admin can take a look and let us know how that looks.
Sounds good. That's all.
All right, any other comments? All right, payroll and bills.
Mayor, I would move that we pay the bills in the amount of $1,667,748.54.
Second.
All right, are there any questions on that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Moving on to the second hearing of the public. The second hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard?
Very happy to hear this, that you might replace the memorial trees, because my husband, George Reed, passed away in 2010, and I bought a tree for him. It was planted at Spindler Park. It was a Crimson King. And when they put the big mud hill in, for lack of word, the tree disappeared. So I think I want to get another tree for my husband. And my husband, George, did put the cupola on Aaron's schoolhouse when he was alive, because he was a commercial roofer, and he paid for that out of his own pocket, over $1,000. And I'm just really happy to know that maybe I can replace his tree, because I really got bummed out when I saw that tree was gone. So thank you. Good news.
Thank you.
Just a clarification on a few things. The gas tax did go up, but the sales tax on gas went down exactly the same amount that the gas tax went up. So that's revenue neutral for the state and for the residents. There is a revenue fund on a new marijuana tax, at least for now. That may be, there may be a fight in court over that. But I just wanted to clarify that for folks, and to point out, I came last year and talked to you guys about, I got money for 10 Mile Road to be redone, and it hasn't been redone. From Gratiot to Hayes, the money is allotted, but the county had other projects lined up for this year, and that's why it didn't get done. I certainly hope it gets done next year. And then the last thing is, we were able to secure $130,000 for the city of Eastpointe for the machine that fills the firefighters' tanks with air. The machine was aging, and I wanted to give a shout out to your very own fire department's Matt Czar for pushing and making that request. Anything we can do to help the city receive things that are necessary like that that's the reason I'm here, and I just want to give a shout out to him for that. And then the last thing is, please thank a veteran tomorrow. My son will probably speak to it, but we lost 2 veterans recently in the span of a week in our family, and we cherish our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Council, Mr. Mayor. Police Chief, I noticed on a scanner channel that I watch on Facebook, I saw a couple of your officers wrestling down some suspects of some type down on Chalmers in Detroit on the bank of the freeway. I congratulate you and your men. And I'd also like to speak to the Planning Commission and this new document we have that's supposed to regulate our future. I forget what you call the document already, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. And Chief, that document doesn't even mention police, which is really odd. Independent reporter. Now, let me go back. We border Detroit, and that's not a problem. The people of Detroit are great. It's the government that stinks. It's a Democratic government. I'm going to be completely honest. And independent reporter Charlie LeDuff says their crime statistics are all rigged. They don't even report murders. And this planning document that we have doesn't do anything to beef you up, not you personally, your department. Doesn't give you any electronics to work with. And I was also extremely disturbed to learn from other citizens in the last week or two at meetings, you do 25,000 runs a year. And that's a lot. 25,000, I had another statistic in mind, but I'm not good at that stuff, so I forgot it. But my focus for the next year is going to be for this council to beef up this police department and get serious about it. they need to have a cooperation agreement with ICE, regardless of what anyone here thinks, even our state senator. I don't care. You guys need to have a cooperation agreement with ICE, because ICE has, the Biden administration would put purposely immigrants into black communities. And Detroit happens to be a black community. It's the same in Chicago. It's the same in Memphis. It's the same.
You have 30 seconds.
In California. So that's going to be my focus for the next year, is to beef this police department up. Give them, I'm also, the other statistic I was thinking of, this council has denied you flock cameras, which I didn't know. That stuff has to stop. It does have to stop. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Jennifer Nicholas, Eastpointe resident. The master plan, I think, is what he's referring to, and yes, everybody should get involved. There is a survey for the master plan. I believe there's a QR code somewhere for people to, if they have input for the master plan, please get involved. Councilman DeMonico, thank you for your years of service on city council. It's unfortunate that things had to go to this extreme for people to feel that they were being heard. I personally wish that you had allowed residents to help support you and guide you in some of the decisions that you were making on council. I hold no ill will against you. I truly believe that you have thought that you were doing the best for the city. I know just from listening to you how hard you work and your attention to detail. And as a resident of Eastpointe for almost 60 years, I appreciate it. So thank you, and hope you have a good night.
Larry Edwards, Eastpointe residents. Afternoon, council, mayor. I was out, as I was sitting listening and what have you, the accolades that was passed on in regard to Mr. DeMonico and what have you, and the years that he spent on council seat and what have you. I don't doubt it totally and what have you, but it comes to a point to where when you think that you can overrun stuff, that you're the boss, that your consideration is the only thing that matters, and you begin to where you don't listen to the people or anything, it's time for you to leave and what have you. And I'm glad of the outcome of the citizens that's waking up, that woke up to that need and what have you. Because it's not only the 9 Mile Road situation, there's a lot of other instances and what have you that's been going on as well. And as a lot of people say, karma has caught up to it. The truth has now come out to a small degree, and it needs to go even further beyond that. And then to Ms. Doom, I heard you mention something, giving accolades to deputy manager, deputy clerk, and what have you. So my question to you, and I hope to get a response tonight, well, who is the city clerk? If the lady is the deputy clerk, because I've been under the impression for a good while that she was the clerk. And so I would appreciate if that would be answered tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Gary Myron, Eastpointe resident. Thank you, Cardi, for all your hard work. The problems that we had lately, that's should have been more studied. I mean, we'll take 9 Mile and Hayes. There, they got rid of the parking lot in front of the buildings and put grass. Okay, looks good, but you took away 3 businesses. And I'm sure Rogers Candy's not doing well. It should have been studied back in the day. That parking lot in the front of the buildings were there for a reason, and that's to keep the little businesses running. It's a very busy block, very busy stores in there. There's hardly no parking in the back. The people around there, the businesses know that, but that's why that was done. And the other thing is when the police and fire needed things were kind of questionable and rejected. And I think they should, they're trying to do their job. And maybe the gun range will come back, but I wish you well and good luck. And I know you'll do well in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Anyone else? Seeing none, the second hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to mayor and council reports. I'll start with Councilman Baker.
Thank you. I'm also going to echo the sentiments of the city manager, thanking the election workers. I know they put in a lot of hours. They work hard. So we thank them for their hard work. I'm glad to hear about the money that we have forthcoming for our roads, because that's been a talk for quite some time in different parts of the city. So I'm glad to hear that we have funds coming in that regard. Chief Haynes, congratulations on your win in Madison Heights. Also, I would like to offer condolences to the family of the DPW worker that passed away. Losing a loved one is difficult. Also to the Kleinfeld family, I had heard of your loss, and I want to offer my condolences to you as well. Also, Cardi, I'm not going to get all mushy. You and I had the opportunity to talk a little bit at the polls. And when I first got on council, you and I sat down. I remember we sat down and talked at Tim Hortons. And over the years, I've picked your brain about certain things. We've bounced some ideas off of one another. I know there were things that we didn't always agree or see eye to eye on, but then I know we also had a joke one meeting. It looked like everything, we were kind of riding the same wavelength. I know you have a love for politics, and I know that you've dedicated a lot of time to this city. You even got me out there cleaning up on 8 Mile, and I know it was a thing for you to count the bags and each year to do more. So I know that was a personal goal of yours, and found that you found some interesting things out there. So
That's for sure.
I wish you well in your future endeavors. And I know that with your love of politics that you're going to keep being involved and that you're going to keep working in the community. So I just wish you well in what you do moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Curley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few things. First one is our new building for the police department and the court. I'm not sure where we're going on that, if we're going to bond it or not, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we get it on an agenda soon. And also the gun range. We've had a discussion on that, differences of opinion, but I'd like to see that put on the agenda as well. They need it, and it's something that every police department probably should have it too. On the lighter side, come on in. On the lighter side, help me out here. When you're on the expressway and you get up on the ramp on 10 Mile Road, right? Visualize, and you turn right. If you look to your right, you see this beautiful sign that says Roseville, right? Are you looking at it now? On the left-hand side, all you see in our city is a fire hydrant and a tree and grass. It would be nice when somebody gets on 10 Mile Road and they're going west, that they would know that on the right-hand side, it's Roseville because they got a sign. And on the left-hand side, we don't need a council to vote on that. Administration just needs to, whatever, put the sign up there, whatever, but we really need a sign up there to say we're Eastpointe. Appointment of commissions. We appointed Craig today, very well deserved. But there's a lot of other ones that we haven't appointed for a long time, so maybe administration can map out something that this is what the mayor does, this is what the council does, and so we can kind of get on that. Local roads, you know, I've been talking about local roads for a long time, and I only got 2 years left, so I'm going to talk a lot more. 1.3 million, thank you, Senator. I'd like to get a list, if I could, of the streets that the AEW thinks should be repaired and at what year they think we're going to get on them. But that 1.3 million is going to be great. And then also, if you could let us know what funds are now free and the major roads, and could we transfer those to local roads? And however that might be, you could kind of let us know about that. Hearing of the public, we talked about that a couple of meetings ago, that I said that I was in favor of having 2 hearing of the public, 2 at the special meeting and 2 at the regular meeting. So I'd like to have that put on the next agenda if you could. And there might be people coming in on a special meeting. We maybe, if you only have 1 or 2 agenda items, they might not have the time to stay 45 minutes or an hour and a half. So I'd like to have that put on the agenda and see if that would pass. Lastly, I believe that everyone has a right to say what they want to say when they come up to the hearing of the public. But I got to tell you, it'll be a cold day in hell when I sit here and agree to have the police department work with ICE. We don't need ICE. Maybe some other, I don't think anybody needs ICE. I'm just going to say that right out loud and sue me. But our police department doesn't need to work with ICE. If the police department needs something, they'll let us know and we'll try to get it for them. And Mr. Cardy, 11 years, that's a long time. And you don't have to agree with each other all the time, which we didn't, but we agreed on a lot of things. The citizens don't really realize 100% what that takes out of a politician, especially local politicians, because you're right there. They know what you're doing. I talked to a gentleman who was our representative years ago, and he started to tell me how many bills they passed. I said, you know what? We passed 1 bill in Eastpointe, and everybody knows about it. And if they don't like it, they're going to come up to hear the public. And I don't think people will drive to Lansing and complain about a bill that they passed. So you went through a lot. And I just hope that, well, you got your best supporter is sitting in the front row. And so you guys are a great pair and complement one another. So whatever you decide to do, you'll do well. And so God bless you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pashadlik.
First, I'd like to extend my condolences to your family, Mike, as well as Senator Kleinfeld. I remember Major General McLean. He had such a phenomenal sense of humor, and he was such an amazing family man who I'm sure is deeply missed and loved. So I do extend my condolences to you guys during this time, especially with your other grandfather as well. Ira was a really great guy as well, so I'm sorry for your loss. I'd also like to speak about the community garden. They had posted on Facebook the amount of food that they've donated, and it was approximately 28 2,800 pounds of food, which is amazing from a small little community like ours. So I'd like to commend that group of individuals because they're all volunteers there. They work very hard at what they do, and it's such a good thing to see that kind of compassion, kindness coming out of our community. So I'd like to commend them for all their hard work and efforts. Lastly, I would like to say goodbye to Cardi as well. It's been a pleasure serving with you. We haven't always agreed on everything, but I do admire the determination, the amount of time that you put into decisions, and the thought-provoking questions that you've put out there and, given consideration to. I truly am going to miss you. I think you were an asset to this community, and I hope that you continue to be the asset to this community, not only on beautification, but I know you're very active in the Memorial Day Parade. There's other things that you do as well, but those are just a few of the highlights that I know you're truly active in, and I'm sure we'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I want to say congratulations to Corey Haynes. And I want to extend congratulations to our employees too, who ran a well-run election, to the clerk's department. Thank you to everyone who came out and voted and everyone who showed up today. I know my mom came up and spoke and touched on it briefly. Over the last 2 weeks, both my grandfathers passed away. My mother's father and my father's father. My mom's dad, my grandfather, Timothy McLean, passed away at 89. He was the 40th Quartermaster General. And again, that was my mother's father. My father's father, Ira Kleinfeld, also a veteran, passed away at 86. After he served, he was a Detroit police officer, eventually made his way up to the homicide detective unit there. So between the both of them, there was a sort of a long example and a long, certainly history of service there. I learned a lot from both of them. Please keep your parents and my family in your thoughts, especially my parents who are both going through losses at the same time. Cardi. So first, first, don't tell people that when I was saying goodbye, I got all teary-eyed, so. When I joined council when you were here, and I just have to say I've always been impressed with your attention to detail. You put a lot of time and effort into this job, and it is a job, and really it's volunteer. And we didn't always agree on everything. You certainly brought good arguments to the table. Everything you did was well thought out, and you brought new ideas here too. You paid attention to what other communities were doing. You always looked around for things here that were in need of improvement. You weren't just up here rubber stamping anything put in front of you. You were looking for things that we could actively do to just make this a better place to call home for the residents here. So I certainly learned a lot from you. I certainly have tremendous respect for your work ethic and what you put into this job. So thank you for your service, and I appreciate it. And with that, comments are yours.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and condolences to you and Senator Kleinfeld and your whole family. I can't imagine, so my condolences, and then condolences to Leon Mann's family also from the DPW. Rough couple weeks in Eastpointe there, so. So first, like to congratulate Councilwoman-elect Karen Scott. If you don't mind, I'm going to be taking a couple minutes of your time here before we get to the 8 o'clock meeting. It might be like, 8:10. And congrats, Councilman Baker, on your reelection. I wish you luck, wish you both luck. If you need anything, I know you both have my phone number, so feel free to reach out anytime. Second, I'm happy that the charter change that was on the ballot passed. I feel like Councilman Baker, that was kind of yours and I's. We kind of discussed back and forth on that, come into a compromise, and I think that'll help with future city councils hiring city managers. So happy to see that that passed. I've been thinking back to my first council meeting. As Karen, you'll soon have your first meeting here. Biggest thing that stands out was stormwater standards. I was thinking, like, what does that even mean? I'm gonna need to do some research on this. So 11 years later, we're still talking about stormwater. At some point, our civil engineers estimated it'd be $300 to $400 million to really fix the issue. So we've got to split those sanitary sewers and stormwater sewers to really do that. Right now, when it rains, we're processing a lot of the rainwater. And every time we do that, every ounce of rainwater is costing us money. So if we split those, we'll save some money. The rainwater, should be going to the lake, soaked up in some rain barrels or bioretention areas. And it just makes me think about all the things that are in front of us. 99% of the stuff is not going to be making a headline. Well, you all know. We make a lot of decisions that are not front page, even on the East Sider. Even though I do remember one East Sider where there was a new street light going in front of like Kroger in Roseville, and that made the front page one time. So yeah, we discuss and vote on budget and ordinance changes. Can be anything from like funding our pension, retiree health care, death benefits, all of Randy's favorite stuff. Water mains, sewer lines, lead service lines, roads, garbage, police, fire, library services, elections, and thank you to everybody that runs the elections here. We do a great job. Parks, when we get sued, what to do about that. Hiring the city manager, hiring the city attorney, and that's just a subset. So yeah, I'm proud of all the things I've done and been involved with over the last 11 years. Most proud of fighting for safe drinking water by getting all the lead service lines removed. And I didn't really plan this, but this is perfect. I have a prop. Our DPW director gave me a foot of lead service line. I did ask for it, just as a reminder of our project of getting rid of all these. Nobody's gonna have lead, have the potential of having lead in your water. We've treated, in Metro Detroit, we treat it and it is safe to drink. I drink it without a filter, but that'll be a reminder for me of this project. When we received $3 million from the federal government due to the COVID pandemic, Congress was intending on those funds being used for public health related priorities. So this was way back before we even started this project. Only due to a loophole in the law could the city accept it as lost revenue and then use it for anything, leading our city manager at the time to propose using it to repave a road. I fought against this, partially winning. We put $500,000 of it towards removing lead service lines then, and thank you to our state senator here in the back there. She hooked us up with $10 million to finish the job, and then Darren Paolucci and the DPW and the contractors did all the heavy lifting, and we've replaced more than a couple thousand lines. And then also, speaking of a couple thousand lines, though, had it not been for discussion with the mayor, we had 1,000 lines not originally on our list because I was talking to him and we knew he had a lead service line and he wasn't on the list. So because of at least that conversation, we were able to move forward. And then even at one point, if people don't know, I'm a software developer on my own time, I wrote a program to compare 5 different spreadsheets and found a couple inconsistencies as we were going spreadsheet to spreadsheet and shared that with the city manager and DPW director, and those were addressed then. I'm also proud of some other things, some things very simple. Back in like 2014-15, we weren't using credit cards at the city, so I proposed that we use credit cards and get into the 21st century. So we literally weren't able to buy things off the internet back in 2014. Proposed an ordinance to outlaw in the city puppy mills, and similar for cats, rabbits, and ferrets. I know we talked about that a lot, Mike, when that was going on. Facade improvement program that I proposed 5 years ago, still happening in the DDA district, initially starting with 5 matching loans of $3,000. I proposed body-worn cameras, something the city didn't have implemented till 2021, helping to promote a good relationship between the police department and community. Initially, our police chief at the time was against it, and there was a lot of pushback, but we eventually got that through, and we've had those since. We've got better side streets, I think, by doing a joint sealing and patching program to manage the decent roads so that those stay decent or better. And then we do reconstruction for the failing roads. And of course, there are still some to do. We've got some additional funds, just heard tonight on the way to hopefully fix a few more of those. And then hopefully we can maintain them without any of them falling into that. We've done some park improvements, new playgrounds, new sidewalks in the park, like Rain Park, Spindler Park has some new sidewalks. We've got a disc golf course, first basketball court in the city in decades. 2 parks went from what I called a field park to a community park. They used to just be grass, and now we've got some other things going on at them. We've got a dog park that was way back when I first was on city council, so that's been here a while. Updated fiscal management plan, updated long not after the recession happened in previous city councils were able to bounce us back. We moved the pension system to MERS, which of course, I'm pretty sure we've never had someone come to city hearing of the public and talk about a pension or retiree health care, but that's a huge thing, and we've also gotten money from the state on that. Way back, I was discussed to keep the shamrocks on our side street signs, which I think is a nice little touch for our city. We did print a few without them, and that's when I was speaking up, why'd we get rid of these? And then I got the giant shamrock. We had it at City Hall for a while now at the DPW, but it was sitting in storage until I asked the DDA to take a look at that. We've had dozens and dozens of trees planted, like we've talked about even tonight. I've helped plant some of them. I know other council members and people have helped plant those too. Converted all the streetlights in the city to LED, promoting energy efficiency and environmentalism, updated the ethics policy, brought back the ethics board that in theory will enforce ethical violations. We have some electric car charging stations here at City Hall. Electric cars will soon be ubiquitous. We've got a splash pad coming. Actually, our county commissioner, Sarah Lucido, originally he threw that idea out there, and we threw that in the budget I don't know how long ago. And again, I guess State Senator Kleinfeld again hooking us up with some money for that project. So that's, if you've driven by Kennedy Park, that's coming. Sometimes the answers up here are easy, sometimes they're hard. I believe that's why legislative bodies have more than one person. You can discuss, come up with better solutions than any one person can. And sometimes you gotta go about things on your own. Like when the city hired a police officer that at a previous department had punched someone for no reason. Police chief at the time said he didn't know anything about it. Our city manager refused to do anything about it, and I eventually went on the news calling for this officer to be fired. Even then, nothing was done, and this officer was only let go once the state pulled his law enforcement license and was literally not able to be a police officer. So I hope the public fights as hard as did about 9 Mile for issues like that in the future. We'll have, I'm sure, other issues to look at like that. And now flat cameras, which was mentioned earlier, they are installed in the city. I did not vote for them, but sometimes you lose a vote and I think can continue to fight for what's right. I voted against them because, they read every license plate that drives by. There's 18 of them in the city. ICE is now using these cameras that basically are across the United States. I think I read over 5,000 departments have them. You could be tracked as you drive across the country right now. And ICE is supposed to be finding illegal people in the country, but time and time again, we're seeing they're arresting and detaining Americans who are legally in the country, and the flat cameras are helping them violate the Constitution by doing that. I believe this concern alone strongly outweighs any positive benefits from those, and they're expensive. 18 licenses are about $54,000 a year, plus installation costs and stuff that we've had before. Still my belief that the 9 Mile lane reduction be positive for the community. I believe this because planning experts say so, not because a previous police chief said he stares out his window. I'm speaking, all right, thank you. stares out his window, you know, our previous police chief said he stares out his window for hours a day and says it won't work, or our previous fire chief said we can't possibly turn a fire truck onto a 3-lane road. This is when we've said that public safety is against it. I don't know, all side streets are a 3-lane road or smaller. Our master plan also says to use road diets when capacities are ideal. Not knowing at the time if they were ideal, I asked the city council if we could do a traffic study. We did do a traffic study, and the study showed that your drive would be the same in terms of time. All right, so that 9 seconds that just passed was the greatest time difference in the study that you'd get from like one end of the city to the other. And most of the times were actually faster than that. And then another issue was queuing on that. And just with a few minor changes to the initial proposal, we'd be able to fix like a queuing issue where you'd have twice as many cars maybe at a stoplight. Hope the community doesn't let even the thought of inconvenience cause them to fight against something. It's my hope that we do things to improve the community as a whole, and people are not thinking only about themselves. Use facts to guide them. Saying the same false thing 100 times does not make it true. And also, instead of arguing only against things, bring some possible solutions forward. Hope that doesn't stall our own progress by not being willing to look outside the box. Appreciate Mayor Kleinfeld and Councilwoman Pashadlik and previous Councilwoman, now County Commissioner Sarah Lucido, for being willing to look outside the box. Of course, thank you to the residents who were and are speaking up about how the project can be positive. So I've joined a band recently. I play the drums. Telling John in the band, who's also an Eastpointe resident, about how much city council is paid. Like the mayor said, it's a volunteer job, basically. I hope you knew that, Ms. Scott. Comes out to about $5.55 an hour with the amount of work I put in. And he said, you may not get paid much, but at least you get publicly slandered every couple weeks. Some things you wouldn't expect prior to becoming a city council member. Another member calling the cops on your wife, or code enforcement targeting your house. I had address numbers that were written out in English. Most likely since the house was built, they'd been there. Now all of a sudden was an issue we had to resolve immediately. And this only happened apparently after I had irritated our building director at the time. We recently got security cameras because I had to put a police report in on a resident that had threatened me. So my hope in the future, being a public official is again, viewed as a public service, not as the enemy. The point of these positions is to make a better society. Less and less people are gonna wanna run for city council if the pay is about $6,000 a year and you get attacked day in and day out. And no one's appreciative of the service. I am eternally optimistic though and believe things will work out. I don't think that will happen unless we do work every day to ensure it does. I think it's time again to think about this saying, how the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. So think about what you can do for your community. Speak up, of course, when necessary, but also ensure you're making positive change. And now to the Memorial Day Parade Committee. I've been the treasurer of that and coordinated the raising of funds for the last 4 years, help raise those funds, and I'll continue to do that committee. And we do have the committee also does a Veterans Day event. So come out 6:30 to the Military Museum literally tomorrow on Veterans Day. Sarah Lucido will be there. I don't know if I confirmed RSVPs with anyone else, but I at least know she'll be there. So come on out. And, I'll continue giving blood when Rare has blood drives. I'll continue volunteering with the litter cleanups that were obviously mentioned. Yeah, we got to beat that record of bags. I want to say it was 50. I think 50 is the most we've had. And I'd like to thank all the board and commission members over the years. Takes a village to run the city. I want to thank my wife, Alyssa, for all her early work on the Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission, Gary Sasick for all your work on the Parks Commission, Ethics Board, Craig Wadecki earlier for the Beautification Commission, Housing, Library. No, there's a lot of others, picked out a couple recents. Had a good time as liaison to the Planning Commission. I know you have that good time now, Councilwoman Bashadlik. Being able to chit-chat about city things with Sheila Yelinsky, who's sitting next to me. I want to thank Chelsea Head earlier for us doing that proclamation, and she put together that beautiful event for Margaret Smith. And thanks to groups like Urban Seed, again, that you just mentioned a minute ago. I don't know if I caught that 2,800 pounds of food. They just keep upping it every year. It's an awesome community space and donating large amounts of food. And I want to specifically point out Bill Randazzo. He puts an insane, I made sure to write insane here, an insane amount of work up there. Thanks to Chris Causey running the Military Museum, recently bringing a monument tank to the museum. And thanks Betty Bishop for all the time she spent with me doing our flower bed up on Kelly that we shared. Just want to thank the school board too for being a great partner in the community. They've been a great partner over the years. President Geneva Early, Vice President Robert Roscoe, Secretary Ed Williams, Treasurer Darlene Whitby, Trustees Ian McCain, Shelley Chopa, and Addie Richardson. They'd all be up here, but they literally got a meeting tonight also. Want to thank Judge Galen and Mark Muskoski for their running of the courts. I'm glad we've been able to, improve our relationship over there, maybe except for maybe a few finance kinks here or there. Glad you've improved so many things. Thank you, Elke, for stepping up, being city manager. While we search for a new manager, hopefully we've got one coming up. I don't know. I wonder if he's watching live right now, hopefully. So I'm confident Ryan Mattis will become a member of this community and take us to the next level. Look forward to seeing him pushing city council's vision forward and not, fighting the city council. Thank you, Rich, for being a fantastic attorney for the city. And it's funny here because I said one willing to even pick up trash with us, and you mentioned that earlier already. So no excuse for anybody. Rich comes out and picks up trash with us. Thank you, everybody, for the nice words at the hearing of public. Good to see you, Mayor Pixley. Been a while since I've seen you. Thanks for coming out. It's been an honor to be a city councilman and mayor pro tem for the city of Eastpointe. I'll treasure these 11 years. Believe I've been an ally to the employees of the city over these 11 years, and our government only improve if the city council supports them. So thank again my wife, Alyssa Diebolt, and mom and dad, and my Aunt Carla, and cousin Michael are here too. Thanks for coming out, putting up with all the insanity that follows even a spouse or family member of a council person and someone trying to improve their community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. We don't have any closed session items left. We handled that all in the open. So how about an adjournment?
So moved.
Support that.
All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 8:17. We have our second meeting, but how about we give it about 10 minutes to 8:27 and begin with the swearing in.